My name is Jeffrey Dell, and I did the 4 black and white mezzotints here. I was living in Venice, Italy for a while and working there, and it's living abroad and living in Italy and working for basically a small family-run business was not the paradise that certain people might imagine. And without making that a long story, after living there for 2 years and deciding to come home almost to the day, I had the idea, born literally of anger, to do images of blowing up Venice. One of the reasons I like these the way they finished is because the violence has become implicit rather than explicit. And when the violence is implicit, it lends a lot more room to other things, like solitude and remorse and guilt. These two I sort of think of as like coming to San Marcos. And I do find it weird that I left a city where everything is San Marco this, San Marco that, and I moved to San Marcos, Texas. And all my Venetian friends, when I told them, they were like, "You're kidding." These are printed from copper plates. I reuse plates habitually. I'm still using, just 2 days ago, pieces of these plates. So it's common that I have little bits of old images that might have been from 5 years ago in stuff I'm doing now. So you have a Venetian building back here, but there's a used car dealership we finance, and there's a McDonald's. This is basically I-35 and Hopkins in San Marcos. Startling the birds, scaring them. The best way for me to describe kind of what I'm interested in here, it's like a little boy who's just discovered that he has the ability to intimidate. And he's thrilled and intoxicated with this knowledge. And so he starts using it like crazy, only to realize that he's left entirely alone. I always work very consciously within limitations. I love black and white. I love the process of printmaking because the copper kind of fights me because I have to physically work it. I'll give myself like periods of time, like I'm going to work till midnight, and at midnight, that's the piece. I'm done. Sometimes I break those rules, and sometimes I don't. But I like limitations like that. It forces me to sort of be a little more personal, a little more creative, find something in those difficulties, in those challenges, that is the uniqueness and the originality, hopefully. Nothing is more cliched than Venice. I could not make a single image of Venice while I lived there. These all happened after I left. When I decided to make that work, it doesn't interest me that it's not a balanced reaction to the world. It doesn't bother me that it's not a very wise reaction to the world. What interested me was just kind of the ferocity of that desire to project my emotions out onto my surroundings, to blame the things around me. And I'm driven very much by those basic human qualities that, try as we might, we can't always grow out of, or we can't quite escape or shake off of us. It's really important for me not to make it partisan, but to make it still very much about a mind talking to itself, kind of.